Hey guys, up here in Bathurst on this chilly, whatever day, morning we're still at, up with Brent, going to take a look at our TC, so Centre Mower Conditioner, TC 320, in the lead up to our hay season effectively. So if you are considering a new bit of Krone equipment, whether it's a mower conditioner, the rakes, tedders, balers, whatever you're looking for, please reach out. We've got Brent up here in Bathurst, happy or looking forward to helping everyone out as well, mate. But absolutely, we're going to take a bit of a walk around over this mower conditioner, show you the features and benefits of this particular machine. What is this gauge exactly for?
So that gauge is reading off your cutterbar suspension, okay? So if you're in country that's relatively soft, you don't really want a heap of weight on your cutterbar, because what it tends to do is it hits the crowns of the plants and rolls those crowns out of the ground. So you've got no regrowth.
I was going to say, they're not coming back to come back through and cut after that.
You'll also find too, if you're in soft ground and you've got too much cutterbar pressure, you'll end up dragging soil up into your product and it just becomes negative to the impacts of your animals. So that can all be adjusted just by hydraulics on the tractor. So if you're going along, you don't actually have to stop and go and measure it. You can actually lighten that pressure off or increase that pressure as you're going along.
Doing in the cab
cab, on the fly. So yeah, and you can customise this mower pretty much within seconds to the conditions you're in.
Yeah, like I said, it's a very big benefit. Like I said, we want to be able to get multiple cuts per year out, and we don't want to be pulling those crops out.
That's right. Okay, so this is using what we call a 2-point mounted system. The reason we use this system is because it's nice and stable on the back of the tractor. The linkage arms are carrying all the weight, and it helps get the weight onto the back of your tractor as well.
Yep.
Just stability in the field and stability on the road if you're going between paddocks, and also just stability for the tractor in general.
Beautiful. What size hitch do we need, mate, if we're
So category 2 hitches will fit this machine.
Right.
Yep.
Beautiful. With the hydraulics, so do we need a particular hydraulic flow, or are we mainly just PDO driven?
Mostly PDO driven for your cutter bar, but you will need some lower rates of hydraulic flow to operate your swing. This particular machine, being centre mounted on the drawbar, will swing left and right. So for guys that have sown backwards and forwards and are cutting swathe to swathe, this machine can swing left or right of your tractor for going past.
It's certainly, like I said, that is a massive advantage. So I said, compared to me, what I've done in the past, I've only ever had that right-hand offset machine, and it is a painful exercise through some of the paddocks. So this can go left and right of the machine. Yeah, beautiful. Yep. Awesome. And so moving back to our mount effectively, is there anything that we should be looking at PDO wise? Or
as you can see, the machine's all basically shaft driven, right? So there's no belts on this machine. Even the conditioner's positively driven off a gearbox. So there's no belts to slip, nothing to maintain essentially, apart from your oils and the gearboxes each year.
Yeah, 100%. So as we're looking at this is sitting very high off the ground, right? So this is only really for transport. In regards to cutting heights, can we literally get it right down on the ground if we need to?
Pretty well. I think it's down to about 25 millimetres is as low as it'll cut. And then you can get the various different skids to go underneath for if you want to cut higher. So cereals and stuff where you've got a lot of fibre in the bottom of the plant, you obviously don't want a lot of that fibre in your hay, so you'll lift it up. It'll also help with drying because it keeps the airflow underneath the sward when it's laying behind the machine.
Yeah, perfect. With the cutter system itself, what sort of PDO speeds? Can we do variations of 540 or 1000, or are we only running, how are we running speed-wise?
I'm pretty sure most of these machines are spec'd at 540. Some of the other machines are on 1000. But that being said, it's all geared back here. So whatever your input is at the front, you're always going to get the right speed at your discs. The biggest benefit with these cutter bars is they run massive big gears inside the cutter bar. So these mowing heads or tops aren't actually part of the main drive through the cutter bar from one end to the other. I know that's common in other manufacturers. These units are just a satellite off the back of the big ball gears that are in that cutter bar. So the ball gears that transmit the power run slower, which extends the life of the gears. It also keeps your temperatures down in the cutter bar, and with that as well, you run them at a slower speed, which means it's not singing. Like I know experienced guys that have used hay mowers, they have this characteristic high-pitched sing about them when they're engaged. You won't get that high-speed sing out of this machine, but rest assured with the gear ratio between these cutting heads and the cutterbar gears, you're still going to maintain tip speed of in excess of 3,000 RPM.
Yeah, so it's still going to give us a really good cut, quality finish, and we're not going to leave anything behind on the paddock, that's for sure.
Correct, yep.
So in regards to the blades on the system, like safety, like any sort of protection, servicing and maintenance side of things?
So I've got a couple of things. On this machine, it's got a nifty little lever that we use for doing the blade changes.
Yep.
So all our mowers have got the quick change blade system on them. The other benefit too is if you're looking at the blades, there's not an awful lot sticking out in front of the protector, right? So the blades themselves are not super long by comparison to many manufacturers, but it also means with a short blade, they're more robust when it comes to rock. Yep. If you hit a rock at something a bit longer, you've got a lot more purchase and you'll bend your blades quicker. Yep. They also run this big protection shoe under here as well to protect the discs from any impact damage as best they can. Again, they run like a cast section in here to protect the leading edge of the cutter bar where the crop and stuff's actually moving across the cutter bar. Yep. But getting back to the blades, real quick and easy to change. We slide our tool in and just pull down, and that gives us, when I'm over the top of it, the clearance to pull the blade out.
They're cut across both edges, so we can flip the blades over as well.
That's right, yeah, they're unidirectional, like you can flip them left to right and still maintain a cutting edge. So instead of, back in the old days, I think it was an hour to change blades on a 3-metre mower.
Or a sickle bar going through the middle, weight one or the other.
Exactly. You're back to literally, minutes and you've done a full blade change on this machine.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep. The other thing with the blades, in this disc design, they're cut out right back here, right? So if you do happen to hit anything, there's enough room for that blade to swing right round on its pivot and come back into the working position. So that also helps protect the blade. And you're not getting it coming back against a stopper. Some of the discs on other machines have stoppers here, which tends to damage the back edge of the blade. So when you go to tip it over, that edge is already damaged.
Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so we'll take a bit of a walk around the back and then we'll come around to the other side. I just want to run through with yourself, I said being the man in the expertise, a few different options for air conditioning effectively with rollers and flail. Okay, so it's horses for courses when it comes to a conditioner. If you're in something that's a bit fragile, I suppose like lucerne or something that's very leafy and you don't really want to damage or knock the leaf off, a roller is usually a good option. That roller comes in a couple of configurations with Krone. We have this M roll, which is shaped essentially like the letter M. So you don't have a real sharp, severe edge. You have 2 high points, which are rolled to give you a positive crimp on whatever it is you're putting through there. The beauty of this new M roll system, it will actually handle pasture as well as like leafy crops like lucerne, etc. Beautiful. What are our other options to these steel rollers? So if we don't want the steel roller, what are some other options that we can configure with?
So we've got the older style chevron roller, which is a rubber roller which has interlocking grooves very similar to this, yep. Which a lot of people that have been in the lucerne industry will be very, very familiar with. They've been around for forever.
Yep, so this is just a new improved version of that effectively.
That's correct, and just a bit more robust, yep. And reduces the maintenance from that. The other conditioning styles we do have available is what they call the flail conditioner, right? So the flail itself is designed more for something that's a little bit more robust. Predominantly you'll find them in pasture crops or being used in pasture crops and cereals. They're more designed to sort of kink the stem as it passes up through this hood and both kink it and abrade the waxy coating off the outside of the stem to help release that moisture ready to lay in the paddock and dry off. Yeah. Beautiful.
So out here on the back, we've just got our deflectors on the side here to change our row widths effectively depending on our conditions. These are all replaceable, adjustable?
Yep, adjustable and replaceable.
Yep.
They're made of super thick steel, so generally I've pretty sure you'd wear the mower out before you actually wear the deflector chutes out, but
we might take a bit of paint off the end, but that's about it.
yeah, they're very robust. These can be narrowed up, so if you have a particular way you like to deliver your hay to your machine that follows it, or silage, whatever it is you're putting through there, you can narrow these up. You can set one side a little bit more offset than the other to lay it across to one side behind the machine, or leave them wide open so that you get as maximum width behind the machine to lay it out for speeding up that drying process.
Yeah, beautiful. Walking around from there as well, last time I saw these mowers, I think we've got much bigger tyres now on these machines as well, so it should lighten that footprint.
Absolutely, so lightens the footprint, less damage to the crop that you're actually mowing. I know a lot of guys, if you're mowing cereals, it's a one hit, but if you're doing pasture and lucerne where you want that quick regrowth, it's not as hard on the crowns, it's not damaging that new growth.
Yeah, beautiful. Just noticing as well around the side here, springs. So what are these for?
Yep, so they're the tensioners for your top conditioner roller.
Okay.
So as the product increases through between the rollers need to open. If they don't open, it just balls up, so all the product will stay on the intake side of the roller and not come through. The biggest thing I stress with a roller conditioner is don't try and drive it like a race car. The more crop you try and feed through those rollers, the poorer the conditioning effect is going to be. So the outside of that crop going through will be conditioned, but the middle won't get a proper condition on it. So yeah, with a roller system, just take your time and just let the rollers actually do their work. Don't try and bust.
Drive to conditions pretty much.
Well, that's right, yeah, don't try and bust the paddock over in record time, because you're not going to get the result you want behind it.
Yeah, well, if someone wants to mow faster, maybe we just need to get a bigger machine in here.
That's right, that's right.
Beautiful. So as we're going across the paddock, like I said, you're talking about a speed, right? Is there any sort of suspension system?
Yes, there is. So this mower here is actually suspended in the center point, so that allows the cutter bar to tilt left and right for better ground following, as well as it's got these links at the back here which allow it to lift and lower. So the ground following or ground adaptation on these mowers or mowing heads is, yeah, it's second to none really.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. And so you're talking about direct drive from the shaft before. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that, how it's engaging and driving the conditioner and cutters as well?
Correct. So if you have a look around the side here, the drives come back to a center gearbox from the front of the mower. They then drive down to another bevel box on the side here, which transmit the drive straight down into the cutter bar. If I lift that cover up, you can see it's a straight shaft down into the cutter bar to drive that first gear.
Yeah, beautiful.
Transmitting the drive. But in behind here, sneakily, there's another takeoff point which drives your bottom roller for your conditioner.
Okay, beautiful.
So it just keeps everything nice and compact. There's no technical inner shoe, as we call it in the industry, on either end of the mower. So if you're cutting across pre-cut forage, if you don't get your mower bar up in time, or for some reason you have to cross another row, that's not going to drag or collect forage here and create lumps that take a lot longer to dry down.
Okay, perfect. So just notice these breathers and stuff on the side. So is this all oil bath through all the stuff through there?
There is. All these mowers have got oil in all their gearboxes.
Yep.
And yeah, just pretty much once a year change the oils in them, and they're not really going to give you any grief. Okay. Unless you're doing massive acres, but chances are if you're doing big acres, you've probably got a butterfly mower.
Yeah, 100%. Well, in saying that, like I said, there's a lot of variations in the mowers that Krone has available. Like I said, we've got front mounted butterfly mowers that Brent was just talking about, just active mow systems without conditioners, and then lots of different varying working widths as well, from what are we at, 2.8 smallest to 4 and much bigger. If there's anything that, like I said, ideally the features are very similar to this machine. It's just going to be working widths and then just customizing the conditioner systems or hitch systems on the tractors to suit your application. So to any extra information, like I said, please reach out. Brent's up here in our Bathurst shop. Get ready before the hay season comes through. We have these available for demo. Come and have a look. You won't be disappointed.